Well, greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome back once again, or for the very first time, to the Farts and Crap Show, where today, as per usual, it's your host, Danjo, here with a brand new Retro Classics series for you guys, and this one is Pokemon Emerald Randomized Nuzlocke. Hope you guys are all doing so well today. And real quick, before we get started, many thanks to the current, well, not even the current ones, but the Farts and Crap Show members, the channel members, who chose this series. More on that at the end of the video. And yeah, this is pretty self-explanatory to those of you who are already familiar with randomized Nuzlockes in general. In case you are not, here's a quick little thing for you. So a Nuzlocke basically is a rule set that is special to any kind of Pokemon playthrough. Randomizing essentially makes it a little bit more interesting because you don't know what you're going to be getting. And there are a variety of ways to do this and a variety of factors that play into this. So this is a very randomized set that I've made here. But we'll go over the rules real quick in case you guys want the full rule set. There is the link right there to the Bulbapedia page on what a Nuzlocke is, essentially. There are a number of rules, but I will go over the basic ones because that's what I'm going to be using. So, essentially, you have a single catch chance per route, and it's only your first encounter. So if you run from the first encounter, if you accidentally make it faint, it's done. That route is permanently locked. That first encounter is your only catch chance for that route. So this is kind of the crux that makes like modern games in the Pokemon series a little harder to Nuzlocke per se, because especially in Scarlet and Violet, like you don't have set routes nearly as much. In the classic games, like this is Gen 3 obviously, the game tells you exactly where routes start and where they end. The second rule, starter is determined by trainer ID. Now, again, I'm basically only going to be talking about Gen 3, specifically Emerald, from here on out. So, every time you start a new game file, your trainer ID is randomized. So, going by the traditional rule set, if you get a 1, 2, or a 3 as the final digit of your trainer ID, you have to pick the Pokemon on the left. If you get a 4, 5, or 6, you're picking the Pokemon in the middle. If you get a 7, 8, or 9, you're picking the Pokemon on the right. If you happen to get a 0, you can freely choose between the starters. All Pokemon must be nicknamed. This is the tricky part. Pokemon deaths are permanent. This is the most important rule to any Nuzlocke, essentially. Because of the previous rules, there is a max number of Pokemon you can acquire in the game. Also, Pokemon, like NPC trades are fine. So, in this randomization, all of the NPC trades are completely random, like what they ask for and what they will give you. So the chances of actually acquiring the Pokemon that they want is very low, but it is possible. And also no daycare. Like, daycare is kind of a cheat for Nuzlockes in general, because essentially your Pokemon just get stronger as you walk around without you doing anything. and that kind of negates a big part of the risk-reward system in a Nuzlocke. Now, in the past, what I've done for this variety of Nuzlocke is, like, a gym leader encounter. The first attempt doesn't count. So the reason for that is because of the amount of things that are randomized in this rule set. So not only do we have the standard randomization going on, like trainers will have different Pokemon, you know, all that good stuff. Pokemon types are randomized as well, and their evolutions usually follow the type, but can still gain like dual typing. Now the actual mechanics are the same. So basically the type chart for Gen 3 is still going to work, but the moves Pokemon learn are also randomized, but they try to follow a standard like strength curve essentially. So you're not going to immediately, and this is a problem I ran into in like previous randomizations. I think it was also for this game when I attempted to make like a super chaotic randomization. Zigzagoons, like at the beginning of the game, were just immediately showing up with Hyper Beam, and they were super fast. Oh, that's the other thing, right. Base stats for all Pokemon is randomized. It's randomized within their base stat total. So you're not going to encounter like a Wingull with the stats of a Mewtwo, for example. Like, I believe Gen 3 Wingull has like a base stat total of like 200 or something, whereas Mewtwo in Gen 3 is like 600. So it's still gonna have a total 200. It's just the distribution is going to be different. So what is usually a special attacker might be a physical attacker. What might be a fast Pokemon would be a slow Pokemon, or, you know, like Shuckle, for example, has very unbalanced stats. That might not be true. The other thing to keep in mind is once things are discovered about this randomization, like for example, it's not every single Pokemon. So like if we figure out that like Spearow, for example, is like water and rock type, every Spearow is water and rock type. It's not like, oh, what's this one gonna be? So there's a little bit of like paying attention is going to be a lot more helpful. And that's pretty much it for what's different. If you're unfamiliar with Gen 3, this was right before the physical special split. I was trying to see if there was like some kind of mod that we could do like with the randomization to like reintroduce the physical special, but no. So essentially the rule of thumb is that all of the evolutions are special, and also Dark and Dragon. I think that's the rule. And then everything else is physical. So it goes by type rather than specific moves. So like nowadays we have moves like Waterfall and Aqua Tail, which are physical moves but water type. That's not true in these games. Like, if it's water, it's special, and that sort of thing. So, and I'm not going to go over like all the details from like Gen 3 and how it's different from like current gen Pokemon. If you're curious about it, just look into it. But I'm also bringing back the PokeFact of the day, which we're going to do at the end of the video before the members wall, like the outro and everything. So if you guys are curious about that, yeah, it's a thing I've been doing for a number of years whenever we do a randomized Nuzlocke. And I don't know what we're going to be getting in this episode, so like I just went with a pretty, like, I guess iconic Gen 3 Pokemon for today's PokeFact of the day. But yeah, these episodes are going to be coming out every day in the morning slot, like usual with Retro Classics. So that would be noon Eastern. So yeah, if you guys want to keep up with this series, that's when you can tune in to see new episodes. Also at the end of every video that I do, we have links to the playlist of the current series. So yeah, at the end of this video, we are going to have a link to Sekiro, Tears of the Kingdom, and this one. So if you ever want to catch up on episodes, that's how you do it. Also, obviously, this is a Game Boy Advance game, so there's no voice acting, so I'm going to do the voice acting for all the characters. And, yeah, it's essentially, it's a lot of work to, like, do these episodes and stuff, and it takes a lot of prep because I need to make sure a bunch of stuff is, like, working correctly and everything. And the one thing I did not pull up before, you know what I should have in front of me is a type chart for Gen 3. I did not do that, but we're not going to know what the types are initially, so it should be fine. We could maybe figure it out based on the moves they're going to be using, but we'll see what happens. Oh, right, but the mulligan thing for the gym leaders, I'm not going to do that anymore, because in the last randomized Nuzlocke I did, it made it a little too easy. So, like, if they die, they die. If we get a party wipe on a gym leader on the first attempt, I might just release one of the Pokemon instead of all the Pokemon. Essentially, there is a Nuzlocke rule where if you have fewer, it's an optional rule, but I think it's like if you have fewer than 7 Pokemon? Or 6 Pokemon? Essentially, if you don't have a full party, and no, it's fewer than 7, because that would mean a full party and you have 1 in the box. Right. So if you have fewer than 7, and you get a party wipe, not all of those Pokemon are dead, you get to choose which one goes away. And we're not actually going to be releasing any dead Pokemon, we're just going to keep them in a separate box, like a dead box, so we can, like, review later, oh hey, I already caught this one. It's a lot easier to keep track of things that way. Plus, like, if we ever want to, like, you know, review and be like, oh, I had one of these Pokemon, what type was it again? And we could easily go check in the box. That sort of thing. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the explanation and stuff. I think we're good to go. I am using some color correction because a lot of the, like, most Game Boy Advance games were designed for the original Game Boy Advance screen. So it should look all normal for whatever display you're watching this on. And, yeah, of course we're prettying it up a little bit, you know, using some upscaling, some better audio options, all that stuff. So, hope you enjoy. Let us start the adventure. Hi! Sorry to keep you waiting. Welcome to the world of Pokémon. My name is Birch, but everyone calls me the Pokémon Professor. This is what we call a Pokémon. Jeez, dude, right off the bat, like, Latios? I get them confused. Latio, whatever. The Psychic Dragons. Anyway. Wow, that's not what I was expecting. This world is widely inhabited by creatures known as Pokémon. We humans live alongside Pokémon, at times as friendly playmates, and at times as cooperative workmates. And sometimes just regular mates. But that's not till Gen 5, don't worry about it. And sometimes we band together and battle others like us. But despite our closeness, we don't know everything about Pokémon. In fact, there are many, many secrets surrounding Pokémon. To unravel Pokémon mysteries, I've been undertaking research. That's what I do. And you are? Are you a boy or are you a girl? Negative. I am a meat popsicle. Yeah, so this actually wasn't even an option until I believe Pokemon Crystal, where you could pick the female character. Like, before that, they just didn't give a shit. They're like, you're playing as Ash Ketchum. Satoshi. Wait, was it Satoshi? Satoshi and... Yeah, because it was like the rivalry... Because Gary was Shigeru. Because like it was based on Shigeru Miyamoto, and like the guy who started Game Freak was Satoshi Tajiri. I think, yeah, Satoshi, yeah. But Satoshi's mom, the character, like in the English, they just call her, I think Mrs. Ketchum, I believe. She has a name though, in the original, and that's kind of the one that I usually use for these. So I'm gonna go with, and I think this is how you spell it, Hanako? Because that's kind of, I don't know, I think it's a little bit more interesting. Also, if you have, what is it? I think speedrunners use female. Oh, wait a minute. Do we want the other one? No. So this also determines your rival. So your rival in this game is always the opposite sex. So it's either May, who's fantastic, or Brandon, who's kind of a dick. And I think speedrunners pick the female character because Brandon has less lines, I think, than May does. Like, May is kind of chatty, canonically, I think, as part of her character. I don't remember. So, I'm just going to turn that down a little bit. But regardless, I like playing as the female character. And yeah, that whole, like, idea of, like, this is, like, the adventures of Satoshi's mom before... Because, like, they talk about that, I think, in some of the games as well. Like, I think it was in Fire Red and Leaf Green when they first talked about that, the remakes of Gen 1, like Green and Red. She mentions how she used to be a Pokemon trainer. So, like, presumably she went on, like, the trainer's journey, whatever they call it. I don't know. I don't remember what they call it in the originals, but, yeah, supposedly she also did that when she was 10, but... I mean, the story is a little bit different this time around. I do really like Gen 3 a lot. It's definitely better than a 7 out of 10 game, in my opinion. Like, if you ask me, like, Emerald is one of the best Pokemon games, like, period. Just full stop. Ah, okay. You're Hanako, who's moving to my hometown of Littleroot. Oh, that's the name of the town. Right. So I'll get to this in a minute. I get it now. Sorry, My brain is not what it used to be. Alright, are you ready? Your very own adventure is about to unfold. Take courage and leap into the world of Pokémon, where dreams, adventure, and friendships await. Well, I'll be expecting you later. Come see me in my Pokémon lab. Wait, do we not have the camel case thing? This is so brutal. Like, they don't even address this, like, ever. I don't think. But the main character, love that sound. The protagonist and their mom moves to Little Root. It's Pokemon brand moving and delivery service, yeah. And they make you ride in the back of the freaking moving truck. Like, you can't even sit up front. Like, no seatbelt, nothing. Just like... They even show, like, one of the boxes is, like, disheveled. Oh, that's different. Because I think if you play the male character, you live in the house to the left. Also, the other thing I don't like about the male character, the hat thing, is like... It looks weird on the sprite. Like, it makes it look like it's part of his hair. Kind of, and it's always bothered me. I don't like it. Hi, Nicole, we're here, honey. Must be tiring riding with our things in the moving truck. Well, this is Little Root Town. How do you like it? This is our new home. It has a quaint feel, but it seems to be an easy place to live, don't you think? And you get your own room, huh, Nicole? Let's go inside. Alright. I don't know why I made her sound like Carol Channing. See, huh, Nicole? Isn't it nice in here, too? The movers Pokemon do all the work of moving us in and cleaning up after. You can just shit on the floor. It's great. These guys love it. Of moving us in and cleaning up after. This is so convenient. Hanako, your room is upstairs. Go check it out, dear. Dad bought you a new clock to mark our move here. Don't forget to set it. Yeah, because that's how the in-game clock works. Vigoroth, I think? I think it's Machoke, if you pick the male character, that's like the moving service. I don't remember... Well, apparently the settings and stuff are pretty much perfect, because this looks... Dude, I don't know about you guys, I always, like I still do, but I always wanted one of those freaking orange GameCubes. Like, I never got one, but... Dad might like this program. Better get going. It's a Nintendo GameCube. Game Boy Advance is connected to serve as the controller, which doesn't work for most games, but you know, it's there. Hanako took a closer look at the Hoenn region map. Yeah, so we can see like what we have available right at the start of the game, which we got Route 101, Old Dale 103, and 102. So we have our starter 101. I don't think we can get anything in Old Dale. And it's not much of a town, it's like 3 buildings. Yeah, I don't think so. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 potential Pokemon before we get to the main... Yeah, this whole thing is 102. Petalburg. So the main first town. Okay. So 101, 102, 103, okay. And Little Root, okay. So, this is how I'm going to be keeping track of this. So every so often, whenever we have a catch chance to get a new Pokemon, I'm going to pull up the catch list. And I said starter because I couldn't remember the name of the first town. So I'm just gonna say the starter counts as Little Root, basically. So like, in the first games, in like Fire Red and Leaf Green, like you get your first starter Pokemon in Pallet Town. So how I do Nuzlocke, that counts as the Pallet Town encounter as well. So I'm just gonna call this Little Root Town, and then we'll have Route 101 and 102 and 103. Okay. Route 102, Route 103, and if we miss our chance to catch on any of these, again, it's just that route is permanently done. Like, we can't catch anything on it, and I'll just indicate that by writing miss. But that is good to know. And let's go ahead and actually make this a little bit separated here. Make that a little easier. Get rid of that for now because we don't need it. Okay. And this is probably just, yeah, open the menu with start, save your progress with save, the remaining pages are blank, right? PC, we always have a potion at the beginning of the game in the PC. And mailbox, there's no mail here, right? I don't remember how that works. Decoration, I think you can decorate your room a little bit or something. It like, I think this is the game with like the secret bases and shit. So we have, let me make sure this is enabled. Yep, got stereo sound, good, that's why it sounds good. And it's nice they have the button mode thing too, so you can have the L essentially act as the A button. So basically you don't need the B button for most of the game. So you can basically play the entire game with one hand. So we can, and for me, that's actually can be helpful sometimes because I'm going to have the keyboard and multitasking as I'm doing this. Oh, I have to set the clock, right? Okay, so the clock is stopped, better set it and start it, right. I'm going to set this to, you know what, 10 a.m. is fine. It actually doesn't matter what this is, but it's kind of cool. You can like do this. We'll just say it's 11. Fuck it. Hi Nicole, how do you like your new room? Good, everything's put away neatly. I finished moving everything in downstairs too. If you know what I mean. Pokemon movers are so convenient. Oh, you should make sure that everything's all there in your desk. I gotta pick some Vigoroth hair out of my beehole, if you know what I mean. Alright. I know, I reach into Oh, hi Nicole, quick, come quickly. Look, it's Petalburg Gym. Maybe Dad'll be on. Oh yeah, she's still... Yeah. You're not from a broken home in this game. I forgot about that. Yep. We brought you this report from in front of Petalburg Gym. Oh, it's over. I think Dad was on, but we missed him. Too bad. Oh yes, one of Dad's friends lives in town. Professor Birch is his name. He lives right next door, so you should go over and introduce yourself. We have trainer ID 6. So 41826, as I mentioned earlier, the last number in the trainer ID is the one that matters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the middle option Pokemon. And we already have our starting money of 3 grand. I think that's supposed to be yen. So like, it's not, yeah, it's not actually 3 grand. It's like, how much is 3,000 yen? Like, I think 1,000 yen, like $1, 5, I think it's like $5, I could be wrong. Let me know. I can't look up the conversion right now. Oh, and I don't remember for sure, but I think in this game you get the running shoes like almost immediately. We don't have them right now, but soon. Yeah, we don't need to talk to this guy. And he's not here. Do I have to go talk to Brandon for the first time? Yeah.
If you go outside and go in the grass, wild Pokemon will jump out. It's dangerous if you don't have your own Pokemon. Nobody leaves this town. Ever. Go back to your home and shut up. Oh, hello, and you are? Oh, you're Hanako, our new next-door neighbor. Hi. We have a son about the same age as you. He's kind of a dick. Our son was excited about making a new friend. Our son is upstairs, I think. The only other room in this house. He's not in this room. Oh, he has a purple... Sorry, indigo GameCube? Oh, Game Boy Advance is connected. Maybe he has a link cable. Hey, you! Who are you? Oh, you're Hanako, aren't you? Moving to next door, right? I didn't know you're a girl. Dad, Professor Birch, said they're new... Wait, Professor Birch is... Wait, I knew that. Yeah. Because Professor Birch is younger. It's like, no, it's like, that's my grandchild. It's like, no, that's his kid. Said that our new next door neighbor is a gym leader's kid, so I assumed you'd be a guy, because I'm sexist. My name's Brendan, so hi neighbor. Huh? Hey Hanako, don't you have a Pokemon? Do you want me to go catch you one? Ah, darn, I forgot. I'm supposed to go help my dad catch some wild Pokemon. Some other time, okay? Brendan's Pokeball. Better leave it right where it is. Or just wait till he's not looking. I can't fuck with this clock. Damn. Alright, fine. Let's go see who we get. Hi. There's a scary Pokemon outside. I can hear their cries. I want to go see what's going on, but I don't have any Pokemon. Can you see what's happening for me? You just told me I can't leave town. Help me! Oh yeah, this is Birch. I knew that. Right. Hello, you over there. Please help. In my bag, there's a Pokeball. This isn't actually Mudkip, Cyndaquil, and Bulbasaur, by the way. Oh, wait, Bulbasaur? Are we actually getting Mudkip today? Wait, the randomizer fixed the previews? What? Oh wait, it's in Fire Red and Leaf Green, where the previews aren't correct. No. Oh, Cyndaquil is not from this game. Right. It's Torchic. Right. Yeah. So I went ahead and picked 3 Pokemon from 3 different gens before Gen 4. So the grass one from Gen 1, the fire one from Gen 2, and the water one, my boy, my favorite boy in the world, Mudkip. Like, still one of my favorite Pokemon, and we happened to get Mudkip because we got a 6. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you happen to get a 0, you get a pick. But you know what? I would have picked Mudkip in the first place, so... But here's the thing. They're all probably still going to be dual types, and the types are random. So, like, if I remember right, Mudkip doesn't get ground typing until he evolves. Does Bulbasaur? Bulbasaur get the poison typing right away? think he does. Yeah. But like Cyndaquil... No, Typhlosion is pure fire. Yeah. Cyndaquil's just fire the whole way down. Oh, because Gen 2 doesn't have dual type starters. Right. Right. That's right. Okay. Anyway, we get to go with Mudkip. I'm super fucking happy. I could not remember what the starters were. I knew I changed them. I didn't remember what I changed them to. So this is just to make sure we had like a 3-stage evolution, a familiar Pokemon that like eventually has a decent base stat total. Because like the starter Pokemon are kind of always like balanced for the beginning stuff. Like at first they're fine, eventually they're really good. Oh. Hell yeah, I want my Kip, you kidding me? In this if we die here, it doesn't matter. Because like again, Zigzagoon, like we shouldn't, he's level 2, like the starter's level 5. This is like a far cry from the first games where it's an even fight with 2 starters for the tutorial fight. Like, this should be winnable. Like, I'm not even sure Zigzagoon's gonna have any attacks. He might just have, like, Tail Whip or something. Oh? Oh, no. 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 Please don't be fire and flying. I don't want to fire and flying. Dude, like, fire and flying is not a good combo. Like, Charizard's cool. Like, design-wise, I love Charizard. I hate his typing. Fire and flying is, like, not a good combination, especially in these old games, because, like, Rock type is just physical, and, like, 4 times effective. His physical defense is not very good. Alright, let's go with Gust. What is he? Color change? Oh. Oh. So he's fire type and has color change? Really? And rage. So maybe fire normal? I mean, Gust is a great starter move, like 35 PP, it's... Oh, and I believe all the moves are updated to their Gen 6 equivalent for, like, power and accuracy. I was in the tall grass studying wild Pokémon when I was jumped. You saved me. Thanks a lot. Oh, hi, you're Hanako. This is not the place to chat, so come by my Pokemon lab later, okay? So, Hanako. Had a big lunch. I heard so much about you from your father. I heard that you don't have your own Pokemon yet. But the way you battled earlier, you pulled it off with aplomb. I guess you have your father's blood in your veins after all. Oh yes, as thanks for rescuing me, I'd like you to have the Pokemon you used earlier. Hell yeah, dude. While you're at it, why not give a nickname to that Mudkip? Yes. I could just call him Best Boy. I usually like to go with something that's like a little bit more thought. Okay, select is still select, okay. Okay, so Swampfish for ground water. Dirty boy. Dirty. Oh. Some. No. Oh shit, it's not gonna fit. I wanted to call him Dirt McGirt. Is there a way to fudge it and... Like, preferably it'd be like M-A-G-U-R-T. Or M-apostrophe-G-U-R-T, but like, you have 4 left. So like, I could just do like... Dirt McGirt. I don't like it though. Dirtle. It's like, oh, what do you got, a Squirtle? That's cool, I got a Dirtle. A what? I could call him Old Dirtle. Is that too stupid? I don't think it is. I kind of like it. And that'll fit. Old... We have an apostrophe, right? Yeah, we do. Space... B-I-R-T-L-E. Yeah, that'll fit. Like, that's kind of my rule that I use. Like, if it doesn't fit, like, go for something else. Old Dirtle. Oh, we love Old Dirtle. If you work at Pokemon and gain experience, I think you'll make an extremely good trainer. My kid Brendan is also studying Pokemon while helping me out. Hanako, don't you think it might be a good idea to go see Brendan? No, I already met him. Oh, don't be that way. You should go meet my kid. No, he's a dick. Oh, don't be that way. You should go meet my kid. I said no. Oh, don't be that way. You should go meet my kid. No means no, you piece of shit. Fine. Great. Glad you agreed to that of your own free will. Brendan should be happy too. He doesn't have any friends. Please be nice to my child. Get Brendan to teach you what it means to be a trainer. Can't you do that? Or like, your assistant? Or aren't you Birch's assistant? Okay. Alright. A little rude too. Oh, that's how to tell that we're in a new place, by the way. So, like, on the top right, it'll tell us. So, bam. The other thing about the catch limitation thing that I mentioned earlier, first encounter and everything like that, it doesn't go into effect until... Oh, he doesn't have a hold item. He's only fire for now? I'm guessing he's gonna be fire and flying. Is mostly physical defense, which is good if he's gonna be fire flying. Like, physical attack and special are evenly split, which is also good because fire is special and flying is physical, which sucks. But if he's a split attacker anyway, like that's actually pretty decent. That's not terrible. So we're supposed to go talk to Brendan? Wait, do we get... We don't get Pokeballs until... I look tired. You look tired, bitch. Go take a nap. Maybe go fuck another Vigoroth. I don't know. Are they called Vigoroths? I don't remember. That sounds right to me. We also don't get the running shoes until we talk to Brendan and get Pokeballs, I think. It's been a while since I played this game. Like, I intentionally have not played this game for like a year. It's been 2 years since I've done a randomized Nuzlocke, so like I was really looking forward to it, and I wasn't sure which one. Oh, so anything we encounter here, it doesn't count because we don't have Pokeballs. Yeah, if you want to catch Wait, you're not... Don't give me a potion? Okay, I guess the one potion we have is like our only potion for now. So we could freely level up a little bit. We still have to do the first rival fight here in a bit. So I think Brendan's Pokemon is going to be level 5, so like the idea is we're supposed to get a little bit stronger and then kick his ass. Hopefully he might have something really bad for us, like a... Well, I mean, we have Gust and Ember. So like... I guess a rock type would be bad. Or... ground? I guess, but I think rock resists... I don't think ground resists fire. Like, rock would be bad. I don't have the type chart in front of me. But we should probably get a few levels, before fighting him, because, like, yeah, we want to be able to beat him. I don't even usually count the trainer fight against Brendan as, like, necessarily a game over if you lose, because, like, you would just do the same thing again. Like, you would restart the game. Like, if all Pokemon that you acquire die, then that's essentially what you do. You do a hard reset, you have to restart the game from scratch again. And I don't really see the point in doing that, which, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and save right now. So essentially, we can't fail yet, basically. But like, as soon as we get Pokeballs, as soon as we beat or lose to Brendan... Oh wait, no, they don't let you lose, right? You have to beat him to proceed. Is that real? I legit don't remember. So we'll kind of play it by ear a little bit, but again, like, it depends on the Pokemon game, but typically Nuzlocke is not full swing until you get Pokeballs, basically. So, anyway, that is gonna do it for today, and we only went a little bit long. This is gonna be longer than most of the episodes in the series, by the way. I'm gonna try to keep it to normal length. Which is like 35 minutes is the target. But yeah, I wanted to go a little bit longer just because I knew the beginning was going to take some time to explain everything, get stuff going, and kind of go over all the pertinent details and like how the series is going to be and everything. So hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are excited for this. I know I am. Oh, I need to update the thing. Right. So Little Root Town, we got Mudkip. The other thing is Duplication Clause. I didn't mention this before. I should have mentioned this before. Duplication Clause essentially means if you happen to run into a Pokemon that you've already caught before, or you already have, which the nice little rule of thumb is if it has the Pokeball next to the name indicating that you have that Pokemon, you can choose to go with the next encounter. So it's very unlikely, but for example, if we get Pokeballs and we go out to one of these first routes, and our first encounter is a Mudkip, we can just go with the next encounter. Like, that's the only situation where you can do that. So even if on your catch chance you run into something you don't really like or you know is garbage, it's actually a good idea to catch it anyway, because of the duplication clause. It might be a common Pokemon, for example. So on routes where you might be seeing that more often, it would be helpful to already have it. Also, evolving Pokemon you don't really care about as well. Very helpful because, the duplication clause doesn't really go into effect until you actually have that Pokemon, period. So, it's a helpful little thing. Again, they have all these rules and stuff on the website I mentioned before. The Bulbapedia page on the Nuzlocke. So, we got Mudkip for Little Roots. Next episode, we're going to see what we get, hopefully, at least for one of these routes. We'll see how that goes. But, that's going to do it for now, except it's time for the outro and the PokeFact of the day. So, this is a thing we're going to do at the end of every episode. Basically, PokeFact of the day, in case you guys are new here and you haven't seen a Nuzlocke here on this channel. It's a thing I do at the end of all the episodes where essentially we look at an interesting Pokedex entry or a fun little fact, tidbit about a specific Pokemon, and then kind of go into detail like how it's relevant or irrelevant because it was retconned or kind of changed perspective on things. But we have so many Pokemon games now, like mainline Pokemon games, where they have totally unique Pokedex entries that sometimes contradict things we used to know about Pokemon. And thankfully, again, I didn't know we were getting Mudkip, but this seems extra relevant now. I just picked my favorite. Mudkip, look at that happy little boy. He's great. So Mudkip is known as the Mudfish Pokemon. And the interesting Pokedex entry for this guy comes from Pokemon Ruby. So the fin on Mudkip's head acts as a highly sensitive radar. Using this fin to sense movements of water and air, this Pokemon can determine what is taking place around it without using its eyes. So I thought that was just very interesting because they say the head acts as a radar. Using this fin to sense movements. So they don't really clarify if it's the cheeks, what's going on there. I'm assuming they mean the dorsal fin, which is what you would call that top fin on a fish, typically. But they specifically talk about the fin. And the head, I guess? It's a little unclear, but it's still very interesting because, I always assumed that top fin was just a dorsal fin. It helps with swimming and, turning the head to, kind of steer. That's kind of part of Mudkip's design is, he has, essentially a rudder for a tail. And, what are the cheek things supposed to be? I don't know. But, I don't know. I love Mudkip. He's great. Initially, I really liked Mudkip he was my first choice when I first played this game way back in the day, which was, I think I went with Sapphire. Like, I did not wait for Emerald. I was like, dude, Gen 3 is out. Ruby or Sapphire, what are you getting? My friend was like, Ruby. I was like, dope, because I want Sapphire because it's blue. And Pokemon Blue is my first game. And I was like, dude, I'm going with Water type again. And we didn't have the internet at the time. We didn't have Pokemon guides or anything like that. I was just like, dude, Water type, straight up, yes. And eventually, little boy turned into a water ground, and I was like, boom, baby. Water type immune to electricity. That is so tight, and I thought he was the coolest Pokemon in the world. I didn't know the type chart at the time, and that essentially that typing means he's 4 times weak to grass, which sucks. But in Gen 3, there weren't really great grass type attacks. So it was like being weak to bug 4 times because you have like dark and grass typing. It wasn't really a thing people were concerned about because I believe a lot of the good moves were introduced in Gen 4 for like grass and bug and stuff like that. I think X-Scissor was Gen 4? Yeah, and I think Leaf Blade was also Gen 4. And they had, I think Giga Drain was a thing already, but it wasn't like buffed yet. I think it is in this game though, in the randomization, because like, again, the move, power, and accuracy thing is like updated to Gen 6, I think. So I'm pretty sure Giga Drain is actually pretty powerful. But anyway. But yeah, that's the PokeFact of the day. Next episode, we will go with something random again, because typically I go with a significant Pokemon from the previous episode for the PokeFact of the day. I guess we'll take a look at another Gen 3 Pokemon that's like pretty iconic on the next episode, but thanks for being here, guys. Really appreciate it. Of course, before we get going, it's time for the outro. Very special thank you going out to the amazing people who helped make it possible, the current Arts and Crafts Show members. Bells Draconis, Aaron Schick, and 97 Johnny Boy, thank you so very much for choosing to support the show a bit more directly via channel membership. It vastly helps out. Very much appreciate it. And it is very much optional. But if you want to be incredibly awesome like these amazing people and get in on all those membership benefits, check out that join button down below. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's no join button. There's also a link in the description that talks about becoming a channel member. That does the same thing. And before we get into membership tiers, a quick little word on YouTube handles. Handles are unique identifiers here on the platform that help with a number of things, namely navigation. And that is why 97 Johnny Boy has an @ symbol in front of his screen name there. He has a channel of his own. It's great stuff. Highly recommend it, which you can easily go check out just by going to youtube.com/@97johnnyboy. And it'll take you straight there. Because yes, handles make URLs a lot shorter. You can also punch a handle into YouTube search. It will narrow down the results pretty much exclusively to the content from that creator. So, yeah, it helps with navigation a lot. And membership tiers start at $3 a month. It's only 10 cents a day, gets you into all the basic stuff, including getting to vote on the series that get made here on the channel via the Members' Choice Polls. It's a thing we do once a month for a full 7 days over on the membership tab, and that is how all of the series get decided. Like, including this one. This one was chosen via a Members' Choice Poll. So, we will have one for March coming up pretty soon-ish. I don't know when. It's definitely going to be in the back half of the month. Like, we're kind of already approaching the back half of the month. It might end up being the last week of the month once again, because the March 2025 Members' Choice Poll is going to be deciding the series to follow this one. So the series to follow Sekiro has already been decided in a previous poll. The series to follow Tears of the Kingdom was already decided a while ago. And so yeah, the next one will be another Retro Classic series. And I might just pick from the RC Samples videos that haven't been picked yet. Probably. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But this is an approximation of future announcements from the past, so if you want all the announcements as they happen and the bell doesn't work for you, I totally get it. The bell does not work for me either, but there are 4 other ways you can stay up to date. We have the post tab here on the channel, the Farts and Crap Show Twitter /X, I guess if you want to call it that, the Bluesky, or the Discord. I always post on all 4 whenever there's an announcement, so regardless of which one of those works for you, you can stay up to date. And links for those are down in the description, also on the channel banner. But yeah, that's going to do it for today, so thank you all once again for being here, guys. Till next time, take care, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.